What's happening, Internet fam? What's happening, Everett and Grace, in the future? So today I had visitation with the kids. I got to see them for about an hour, maybe a little bit more than an hour, and the entire time they were just super full of rage and physically attacking me, physically beating me, which is the expected outcome with these extreme parental alienation that they're under. They're very angry. They can't take it out on the person who's actually doing the damage to them, so they instead physically abuse the parent who's already being abused by being alienated from their own children. In this case, me. Everett's so angry because he remembers his dad and he loves his dad and he misses his dad, and he's so angry. And Grace is less angry because she was 3 when she lost her dad. She barely remembers me. Let's be honest. She's 5 now. She's in kindergarten. She doesn't remember me. I'm not like an official part of her memories. So, yeah, just really sad, really, really tough. And they actually physically hurt me. I mean, they're both getting huge. And at least they're getting fed because they're both big. They're very, very skinny. I would like it if they were being fed more high-quality food, more volume of high-quality food. I would like to personally feed them more volume of more high-quality food, but I'm not allowed to. And today, they didn't eat any of the papaya, mango, and pineapple I bought for them because they had just been fed a peanut butter sandwich. And once again, this is intentional. This is Mrs. Garcia's attempt to eliminate me from their lives altogether while still somehow complying with the court order, sort of. She just violated a video chat court order just now. I was supposed to have video chat at 3 o'clock, and it's now 3:26, and no call, no text, no email, nothing. So once again, another violation of visitation orders and custody orders in place, which is funny because it's like I barely have any rights as it is, and yet even with this like 0.01% of parental rights that I have, she's violating that still even farther. It's just absolutely egregious and crazy. And yeah, Everett was repeatedly calling me a moron today, which he's hearing from somebody else. That's one of the worst things you can do to a kid, is tell them that the parent who's not there is like a crazy or a moron, or there's something wrong with them, because then the kids think there's something wrong with them, with themselves, because they know that they're 50% of that parent who's not there. So just awful. And they didn't eat any of the mango, any of the pineapple, any of the papaya, because they had just eaten a peanut butter sandwich. I mean, Everett had peanut butter on his face. Like, literally, they ate it in the car on the way to the visitation thing. Like, anything they can do to keep me from having any opportunity to be able to help my kids. It's just so sad and so awful. And I'm just documenting this. So, so that my buddy Chris is texting me. I'm just documenting this so that Everett and Grace will know exactly what happened. I mean, they're mad at me now, but they can't be mad at me forever, because I've been fighting every day, every way. I mean, I spent $200,000 on lawyers and the legal process. I moved from Oregon to California. I moved from California to Hawaii. I have not funded Mrs. Garcia's abuse of them in any way, ever. Not even a penny, not a nickel. I think at some point she somehow got $100 out of me somehow or something. I don't even remember how that happened. But I mean, I'm not funding this abuse. I'm not encouraging this abuse. I'm doing everything I can to fight the abuse every single day. And I know at some point the state is probably going to come after me, take my passport, take my driver's license. They're going to do what the state does, which is extort money from the victim. You can't extort money from the person who's in charge, but you can abuse the hell out of the victim. Why not? That's what the state does. And your taxpayers, your tax dollars pay for that. So if you pay taxes, you're paying the state to abuse parents who are already being abused, like me in my situation. It's incredible and ridiculous and awful, but really the real victims here are the kids. And seeing the kids and seeing their emotional response and their physical response and just how awful it has been for them is just, in the last visitation, she was in labor, so it was canceled, which of course we found out later that she was not in labor. She didn't have the baby till like a week later or something. And the visitation before that was no call, no show. Just sitting there with all these plates full of fruit by myself in this state-run facility. Which is, you know, the whole thing is just so asinine. And bear in mind, I have no history of physical violence. I have no history of legal trouble. I have no history of drug or alcohol abuse. Nothing of the sort. And yet, I have had zero, almost, 0.01% access to my kids now for 2 years. And I fought it in the courts in Oregon. I fought it in the courts in California. Fighting it in the courts here in Hawaii now. And it's been 2 years these kids have been abused. I've been abused by a bipolar narcissist with sociopathic tendencies and a court system that favors the abuser in 90% of these cases. Favor the abuser, favor the abuse, don't care about the kids, and will do everything they can to punish the parent who's already being abused. It's crazy. I'm just keeping a record of all this so that Ever and Grace can understand where we're at in the process. Today was the day, Ever and Grace, if you remember when we built the house out of the plastic magnet things. Maybe we'll do that again in a future visit. I don't know, it was really fun. I brought the mango, the papaya, and the pineapple. You guys didn't eat any of it because we just had a peanut butter sandwich. I brought Everett a new video game. I brought Grace a tape recorder and some markers. So I don't know. I hope you guys remember this visit. We took a bunch of pictures there with the digital camera. Thank you, Linda, for the digital camera. I'm going to be putting those pictures together with some other pictures and giving them another photo album, which again, the photo album I got them before, they don't have, of course. It was trashed, of course, it's thrown away. You're not allowed to have any presents from your dad, you're not allowed to have any video chats with your dad, you're not allowed to have any visits with your dad, you're not allowed to talk about your dad. Your dad's a moron, your dad's a psycho. That's all they get. It's the definition of parental alienation, and it's a horrendous form of child abuse. It's one of the worst forms of child abuse there is. Worse than physical and sexual abuse, according to most psychologists. And my kids are living it every day. And today they had a video chat canceled. Court order violated again. Visitation order violated again. Parental rights violated again. Child's right to the parent violated again. And again, I have no criminal record, no history of drug or alcohol abuse. And yeah, here we are. Day 723 or something. It's probably a pretty close estimate. Ever and Grace, I love you very much. I love the rest of you, Internet fam, whoever else is watching this. And actually, everything else is going super, super well for me. My personal life, my professional life, everything is going great. It couldn't be going better, honestly. It's going ridiculously well. Other things don't want to talk about. Going very, very well. But I just, I want to keep a record of what's going on with this process because Ever and Grace have been abused, are being abused, and I just want to document it. So Ever and Grace, I'm so sorry. I'm fighting for you still, every day, every way I can. And yeah, everybody else, I hope you're having a great time. Love you all.